Before we get to adding the code for handling product sizes, let's correct a few of the products in the special offers category that were incorrectly marked as having sizes available in the previous video. Looking through the All Specials category, the only ones where a size doesn't really make sense are these cufflinks, this sheet set, these throw blankets, this necklace here, and the pillow at the bottom. I've opened them all in new tabs, and now I'm going to go to the admin and update them. I'll arrange everything by name. And then for each one, I'll change has sizes to no and save it. Of course, if you were working with thousands of products, this wouldn't really be a viable solution, but it'll work for our purposes. Now let's get to the code. We need to make some changes to both the Add to Bag view and the context processor in the Bag app, because right now the shopping bag with all the product info we're passing around in the session doesn't have any information on the sizes of the products in it. In the Add to Bag view, under the redirect URL, let's set size equal to none initially, and then if product size is in request.post, we'll set it equal to that. Now, to make some adjustments to the structure of the bag, I'll add an if statement to check if a product with sizes is being added. If it is, we're going to handle things a bit differently. Let's start with the else block. If the item's not already in the bag, we just need to add it, but we're actually going to do it as a dictionary with a key of items by size, since we may have multiple items with this item ID but different sizes. This allows us to structure the bag such that we can have a single item ID for each item, but still track multiple sizes. If the item is already in the bag, then we need to check if another item of the same ID and same size already exists, and if so, increment the quantity for that size, and otherwise, just set it equal to the quantity since the item already exists in the bag, but this is a new size for that item. Now I'll wrap the original code in an else block such that if there's no size, we run this logic, and if there is, we'll run the new logic. Once this logic is implemented in the context processor, we'll take a closer look at the resulting shopping bag so you can visualize what you're actually building here. On that note, I'm going to save this and move to context.py. First, I'm going to change quantity to the more generic item data to keep the code semantically correct, since there are now two different types of data that might be in our bag items. In the case of an item with no sizes, the item data will just be the quantity, but in the case of an item that has sizes, the item data will be a dictionary of all the items by size. So let's update this first part and change all the quantities to item data, except for the key in the template, of course, since we do still want that to actually be called quantity. Now we only want to execute this code if the item has no sizes, which will be evident by checking whether or not the item data is an integer. If it's an integer, then we know the item data is just the quantity. Otherwise, we know it's a dictionary and we need to handle it differently. In that case, we'll actually need to iterate through the inner dictionary of items by size, incrementing the product count and total accordingly, and also for each of these items, we'll add the size to the bag items returned to the template as well. This is how we'll be able to render the sizes in the template. Let's save the context processor and move to the shopping bag template. This will look awful in the template, but it's just temporary so we can see what we're working with in terms of structure. I'll render out the entire bag items right here above the table, and while I'm at it, I'll render out the session variable also, just so we can see what's in the session. Now I'm going to inspect the page and delete the session data just to empty our shopping bag without closing the browser, so you can do this too if you've got any items in your bag. To clear out the session, you can just delete this session ID here and refresh. Finally, I'll add a few items to the bag. Let's add a pair of jeans, size medium. And looks like we have a key error here. This is supposed to be product size. And that's better. Now let's add two of the same shirt in different sizes. And finally, a couple items that don't have any sizes. If we copy the session variable here into jsonformatter.org and fix the single quotes, it becomes clear what we're working with. Each item in the bag is referenced by its ID. The ones with no sizes have their values set to the quantity, and the ones with sizes have a dictionary containing the quantity of each size. Moving back to the template, you can now see the size key in the bag items that do have sizes, and you'll see there's an individual line item for each size. If this still isn't making sense to you, make sure to go back and review this part of the video until it does, because this type of data structuring will be very useful to you as you advance your software development career. Everything appears to be working with the sizes now, so I'll remove the ugly rendered items and save that template again. Let's commit our changes and move forward. In the next video, we'll add some finishing touches to the product details and shopping bag pages.